Hello, welcome back again to Christians in Politics. It's good to have you there. And again, if there's someone you need to invite to be a part of this program, this is a good time to call them or chat them to log in and to watch Christians in Politics. Remember, you're watching RTM, the #1 station that brings you the best of the best. For example, Christians in Politics, the first and the best on African soil. Also, the place where you get faith, the place where you get entertainment, the place where you get education, all fused together in one place. So keep watching and stay tuned always to RTM. I am William Siloho, your anchor as always. Today we're still going to be extending our conversation, taking a look from the Bible and looking at examples and evidence of Christians' involvement in political leadership, Christians' involvement in leadership generally, and their performance. We're looking forward to have a conversation around that table because I think many a times we've missed that portion, we've missed that part because we have not lacking the biblical stories to actually our everyday life. And so when we read it, we think of only heaven. Meanwhile, the Bible is a book, it's a manual, it's a template that gives us guide for everything we do on the face of the earth. And I'm not going to be doing that discussion alone. In the house today, I have someone whom you've met before, if you've been following the program, and if not, it's someone you want to meet. He's none other than our pastor, Pastor Oluwadare Omodele, and he's a pastor, he's a musician, he's a drama artist, he's an evangelist, he's a man of so many parts. If time will fail me to keep calling all his accolades, but I'll just let him have the floor. You're welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming once again on the program.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
So, like I said earlier in my introduction, today we're trying to look at Christians. We've gone past the phase of asking if Christians should be, but we want to see some examples, maybe how they perform, 1 or 2 lessons we can learn from the Bible. And I don't think there's anyone else better to answer that question than an APICP who is still manning the gate, who is a youth pastor, dynamic in all forms, to give us some of those answers. So first I'd like to ask her, do you think in your own term, Christians, true Christians now, can do well politically if they go with the mission of God at heart?
Okay, thank you, Loho. I will ask you a question.
I'm supposed to be doing the asking today.
Yeah,
however,
let's start with that.
Okay.
Have you seen Christians doing well in their businesses?
Very many.
Have you seen Christians doing well academic-wise?
Very many.
So it simply means that once God has called a man into leadership and is giving him the mandate, he will surely do well. I bet with you, yes, we have Christians who can do excellently well in leadership, in politics, all over the world. In Nigeria, yes, we can.
Now, having said that, I'd like to also touch on the fact where someone in previous episode mentioned that we have so demonized the political terrain that Christians don't want to run or go into it. And according to him, he also justified the fact that some of the people in business where Christians have excelled, education, entertainment, where Christians have done well, there are also demons there. Why is it that the political terrain now seems to become so, maybe over-demonized, or I don't know, so scary that Christians don't want to?
Political terrain is, you can say it's demonized because of the type of people that are playing it. And because of the kind of corruptions, compromise, selfishness that has really eaten deep into the political structure of the nations of the world. Why do you want to demonize the place? You demonize it, you want to block everybody out, you want to tell people that we are actually the one demonizing it, to saying it is dirty, it is bad, you cannot be a Christian and be political, this and that. It's a lie. Yes, some people are there who are compromising, who are corrupt, who are embezzling money, but does it mean that there are no ones who are doing the right thing? I will not mention a name of a particular guy in Nigeria that was called for a particular project. They called him, they said he's going to add that project in all the 700 and whatever number we have in Nigeria now.
Yeah.
And he accepted. They told him how much is he collecting. He said no, but these are the logistics that involved, and they calculated, and he gathered people together. We're going to face this as a child of God.
Right.
And then possibly he got the contract and was waiting for mobilization. Surprisingly, let me say, he bid there for the contract, maybe I'm just saying,
yeah, just to put
maybe 500 million naira will serve that. Mm-hmm. Guess how much the people he submitted to went to collect from the government? 50 billion naira.
Look at the margin.
Not even what he wants to collect is not up to 10% of what they went to collect from the government. Where is that 50 billion naira going? Out of the 500,000 he said he will collect, somebody will see come and tell him that, you see. So, yes, don't demonize. Even life can be demonized. And to make as if life is not worth of living. But people are surviving. If people are surviving, then we can survive.
And that's the point there. That's the point there, because, like I said, whatever demonization we have in politics, I've seen a few, I should say, in other climes of human interaction. Take, for example, in the business places, I've seen people use powers. I mean, raw power. I'm not talking about faking it. I mean, people use power either to attract sale or to hurt someone who is maybe like a competition. I've seen that, and even in the offices, we've seen people use power, we've seen people fight dirty, we've seen people circumvent each other, and the same applies. So it's difficult to now draw
ignorance of what God can do.
Right.
Can make you to want to use power. What are you using power for? Somebody has been in that house of assembly that we can't even remember their name again.
Right.
Somebody have been governors that we can't even remember again. One of our leaders in Nigeria, should I mention him?
Please don't.
Was once a party chairman of one particular political party in Nigeria, was one big governor of one particular state. If you see him now in wheelchair, he can't even eat water or drink water. So what is life? Why are you killing people who want to use charm to do what? Where are you taking the money to? What do you want to hit?
I wish I have a way of playing this to our political leaders right now, because what you just said, I still see that power struggle even in our everyday political movement today. There are people, some are complaining that they are being marginalized, some are complaining that they are being trampled on. Though they were all elected into the system, and yet others who had some advantage are now using it to suppress others. And then I'm asking, not too far, we had another gathering that brought several leaders, previous leaders today, and they can look back and say, it was not worth it that we fought the way we fought.
Politics will forever be politics, and if you don't understand it, you will just kill yourself. In politics, no permanent friend, no permanent enemy.
Right.
That's politics. But what we are saying here is, can we find somebody who will do politics without staying his hand? Yes, we can. The only challenge is what you just mentioned. They want to demonize the environment or the people working with. You can't do the governance is not what you can do alone.
Right.
I can be the governor and sit there and say, okay, I have approved this, go and do it. But the people that will execute can turn into something else. So if they fail over there, I'm the governor, I'm the one that failed.
You are the one that approved anyway.
If I'm the president and I say, okay, I've approved this, and before that particular contract gets to Abaji in Abuja, they've shared the money. And I've assumed that they have done it. Most time we abuse the president, the governors, the senators. They are not the problem. It's been approved. People that should do it, it's been bidded for. And they have given it out. It's for them to come and see what you have done. But they have done nothing. Why? Some people have, boycotted the whatever contract. and collected what they want to collect. By the time everything, the remaining money left for this Mr. Contractor, he is not able to. So he too will look at himself and say,
let me also take care of my family.
He will take care of his family and his earth.
Now, bringing back to standing on that point, sir, you mentioned something that is of interest. I've also looked at countries of the world, nations of the world. Most advanced countries, how did they do it? I'll give a name particularly now. Record has it that, sorry, the name is coming out of my mind now. A country came to Africa, came to Nigeria precisely, bought our oil, like Malaysia, bought our oil.
You're talking Malaysia? Yeah.
And then took it back, and it became an export commodity for them.
Okay.
Now, I cited that to give you the richness of what we had, but where I'm going actually is that it takes one president sometime, one leader at a point, to begin to shape the narrative of a nation. And even nations that have moved from third world nation to becoming global power. Talking about any of the BRICS nations now, it took a certain leadership. How is it now so difficult to get a Nigerian that is that, even if I know Christians, like we've established, have good credibility in their organizations, some have built companies that have become global. Why is it now difficult to get such a one?
Nigeria is blessed with manpower. In fact, we're over-blessed. But the Bible says if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The righteous can pray.
Right.
Sir, what made Malaysia to come? They discovered that we have what they need.
Right.
They don't need much. They took some. And with intentionality and value. We don't value what we have in Nigeria. We are wasteful. Maybe because we're just seeing it anyhow, we just enjoy that. Why is it that things are getting costlier? Everything getting costlier. Even ordinary mango. Now, I want to buy mango, maybe they will tell you 2 for 500 naira. Why? It's because maybe somebody is not even bothered about planting mango in his compound. It's just the mango that came only from one particular, those things. The Malaysians came, got what they thought they needed, and planted it with programming and with intentionality. And they followed it sequentially. Now they are the largest palm oil producer in the world. So why is it that where they took the source, we are still suffering? It's not the government. The president cannot do it alone. The people that are working with the president, it's in scales. Yeah. We have to sit down and forget about ourselves first. Maybe they are collecting salary. In Yoruba, they will say, if they make you a king and you are doing charm, do you want to become God? So we should be intentional about what we want to do in Nigeria. Sir, I have some people in Nigeria that are farming and cashing in cool money. They might not have larger power to do a large-scale farming, but they are doing something meaningful. Automated farms, and they are making money. We have some people in Nigeria where they have 24 hours power supply. Abi? Right. Why is it that we can't do it? We can do it, but some people will sabotage it so that it will not work.
That again, as much as is a mitigation for the leaders, is also an indictment, sir. Because if I were to be your supervisor and I give you a project, go handle this project for me, the onus is on me to do a follow-up. Either I go myself or send some other persons who are outside of your team to follow up on that project. Now, if that project is not done, then I should be able to hold you accountable. In the event where maybe you're not within reach, then I should begin to think of remobilizing while I look for the defrauding person, or permit me not defrauding, the person who has failed to know what to retrieve back. I should be able to remobilize if that project is important.
You see.
It goes to show that, is it that their hearts are not in those projects in the first place?
It is not that the interest. Interest is the challenge I have in Nigeria. Every Nigerian, when they come across any opportunity, is money. They're not thinking of the impact. Anything. If you are doing this, well done, you have succeeded, you have eaten to. So bring. It's not about money. It's about you facing what you want to do first. Then let the people feel the impact of it positively. And then from there, you continue it becoming larger. We'll all enjoy it. Then your money will come.
But again, I'm looking at it from the leadership wise, sir. Because if the leaders at the top, take for instance, let me give you a practical example to illustrate what I'm saying. In Nigeria, there was a fight for the minimum wage.
Yes.
That several months. Strike had to be involved, protests had to come in.
I believe people are collecting now because people are quiet.
Now, whether they are collecting now, if the heart of the leaders, who are supposed to, part of leadership is the ability to provide direction. If their heart was in the direction they wanted to provide, they don't need to be pulled that much and that long for them to come to that minimum wage, as it were, because it took too long to review. One. Two, even when it was reviewed, I can't authenticate its payment yet, but
our people are quiet somehow.
Good. So maybe they are
sitting down the flow.
Now, however, when you now look at, okay, if it costs them that long to be able to pay that, agree to pay that minimum wage. Then let's look at our elite class. The vehicle, the comforts provided to one of any of the classes of the elite is more than what, even comparable to what is going to pay maybe 100,000, 1 million persons.
William, it doesn't work that way. Minimum wage, you can't just wake up. It's not just your shop where you have just 4 employees and you're paying them 150,000 per month. You just feel like I should increase their salary. You just let me tell you to 200,000. You can do it that one fast. We are talking about how many number of workers and grade levels. We are talking about minimum wage, and that's the minimum, the basic salary. Not to talk of other emoluments, right? So by the time it's not something you can just sit down in one day and calculate. It has to go through processes. If not, you will run into trouble financing it. Sure, you get it now. So it's also, you don't just do things and just say, okay, workers who are increasing your basic salary will be 90,000. Hey, everybody clap, and they start paying it tomorrow. Very soon, federal government will come and borrow money from you to pay their staff. It's not that easy. Now you're talking about the luxury provider. Yes, we are working towards that. We are trying to also make the government to know that they don't need all those things. Why will I buy bulletproof a car of 500 million naira? The problem is not buying the car. The problem is buying it every 4 years. Well, that is a policy that has been on ground. There's yes, okay, fine. It's one aspect. I'm not a senator. I'm not a rep. I'm not a minister. You're speaking for them. So but I'm saying that we can change all this if our leaders, we that are going there, because if you are, by the time you are, it's because you are not there now. If you are elected there now, and they said, now, this is what has been in play, but because we want to reduce this, we are going to reduce. You will say, hey, now that I'm coming here, you now see the nature of me coming. Whatever they are doing over there, they look into it and see to how to reduce expenses. To run democracy is not cheap. And so, leaders should look into that. Of course, of recent, some of them say, oh, I'm relinquishing my 50%, and I laughed. 50%, that 50%. The remaining 50% they look can feed the whole community. But because of what they also run, we have made democracy more classic in Nigeria, that every minister, every senator coming home to his constituency is coming to meet a lot of straw that people has brought to suck out. So you too must come loaded. That's a word of note, because I wanted to say that some other places, even the developed nation, don't spend this much. You can't say that until you get there. Compared to, if I have ₦1 million and I decide to eat a plate of food at 5,000 naira, it is nothing, right? Yeah. Then, if somebody has
10,000 naira and you want to eat a plate of food of 5,000 naira. Is that not foolishness?
Where is foolishness?
So that's why I'm going now. In comparison, based on what you have, what you have developed, what you're working on. But away from that, sir, we talked about Christians being successful in the political terrain.
Yep.
Each time I remember the name Nehemiah, I think of a man who has served, because towards the later end of his life, he was actually praying to God, which is supposed to be something in private, but I think the Bible included it there so we can learn from. He would mention how that he was, during his term as governor, he had about 150 people those days being fed on his table on a daily basis.
Okay.
And interestingly, he also wrote that while I was feeding these people, I did not take my allowance from office.
Okay, that's
so
good.
I was feeding these people from my pockets.
But he has resources.
He had resources.
Okay.
I was feeding these people from my pockets. And I did not take, I'm not talking about corruption now. The due, this is what has been constitutionally provided for me as a governor to enjoy.
Okay.
But I said no, because I love my people and because I want to sacrifice, because I want to build for posterity, I am not going to take my benefits.
Okay.
You mentioned people who talked about 50%. Is it newspaper 50% or in reality?
Well, we asked you too. Maybe we have to get there
because
to ask.
Politics in Africa, starting from Africa, because we're not selling back to the world.
That might be an assumption from you. If they said it, I believe they will have possibly done it. If they have not done it, we can visit their offices and confirm.
I want to believe with you. I want to share faith with you as a man of God. But the truth is on campaign, they come and they tell us, they read every agenda. A particular government came and promised plate of food. I'm not talking of too much now, just plate of food for students every day.
Okay.
Even if it's once a week.
Yeah.
We didn't end up seeing.
He might actually do it, but it might not see the light of the day. Because some people will see that one too. In Lagos, they are feeding people. They contracted restaurants and they asked people to be going. Yes, of course, some people went, they ate.
But how many schools and for how long?
I don't know. But some people went.
I'm not talking about.
So now, such a contract can go into the wrong hand. But yes, propaganda, they will carry it, it's been done. There was a time they said they're telling bag of rice for 5,000, 15,000, all those things. So, yes.
It was in the news also that 5,000 naira has been paid to I don't know whether up to 100 million Nigerians.
Did you collect?
And I didn't know anybody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that collected.
Well,
so I was asking, is it that
even some people use that to scam Nigerians, sending links and links that led them to. You see, all these are happening because we've not gotten it right in Nigeria. But you just mentioned Nehemiah, what do you call it? You mentioned, is it Nehemiah or Hezekiah?
Nehemiah, yes.
Nehemiah. And Nehemiah could see what he did and use that to pray to God. Right. For God to consider him for one thing or the other. Good. Yes, of course. Yoruba says, Arishe ni Arika. It is whoever does that people will see. That's good. And you say we can't have people who have done that too. It might not be much, but we have people that have done that. Let me tell you this. It's a testimony of somebody who met with Oluremi Tinubu, our First Lady, presently, at a function. And she was interviewing Oluremi Tinubu. Remi Tinubu was not yet a wife of the president then. She wasn't a senator then. Okay. But she's into politics, maybe in Lagos or that. And she said all the while she noticed that she was not concentrating on the question she was asking her, but rather looking at her face. And the next question Remi Tinubu will ask is, what happened to your eyeglass? He said, oh, it's cracked. Why? Why didn't you change it? Oh, I'm gardening money too. And right there, that year, Remi Tinubu asked his guy to give her 10,000 naira to get another. She wasn't yet the wife of the president. She did it. The lady is now saying that, how will I be able to get to Remi Tinubu, or how will I be able to tell people what she has done those years back? So if she's not the wife of the president then, and she could see somebody she does not know and give her eyeglasses, are you saying Remi Tinubu is bad? You see, even those who are doing the right thing, we are still castigating them.
Yes, agreeable, sir. However, there are things that I don't want to take the credit out of what you have said, but also we also understand that politicians have a way of doing something for the record, and then they put camera, they blow it up.
Well, that's what Nigeria wants.
However, let's just move past that. Can we say also, looking at leadership from the Bible?
Okay.
I mentioned the classic case of what's his name, Nehemiah. Another person that comes to mind that served diligently, served very well, will be Daniel.
Okay. So now let me pick you that quickly. Daniel did well all through his life.
Yes.
Was that
4 kings?
That's a fact. That's a model,
right,
for us to see.
Now, as Christians, if he were to be in this today kind of government, do you think he would have lasted?
Well, it's not.
Even though he faced his own challenges.
He faced challenges. The challenges then. The government here of these days have lions then.
No. They may, we don't know yet. No.
So then it was the battle between the governor, the government, himself, the officials, and God. He stood his ground. He stood his ground. And then he survived. And the king raised him.
Do I say, I think one of the things that makes Christians not want to go is the fear of death.
Well,
and because
what does the Bible say about
Daniel actually died in that story, because I don't think when he got to that point where he will be thrown into the lion's den, I don't think he was thinking he could survive.
He was not,
unless if by revelation God had shown him to come.
God did not show him anything.
He dared death, sir.
Yeah, he dared death. Yes.
The children of
the three Hebrews,
Hebrew brothers also
they said
death to enter into the fire.
That is it.
But the point is, how do we get Christians to get to that point where they can believe so much so that even in the face of these challenges, because challenges will definitely come when you're standing for justice.
Yeah.
And I know some people have compromised, not because they want to.
They are afraid.
Because of that fear. So how do we now ginger them to be able to do? Is that the word that
such a Christian,
encourage them?
Such a Christian should first trust in the Lord. The difference is God is involved. The difference is God is the one that will strengthen you to do what you want to do. Men will fail you. Your idea will fail you. God will help you. That was, just look at the example of Daniel, that God helped and he escaped. And go towards that lane. God is still there. God is not tired. It is only with God. He said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You understand, sir? So a Christian who wants to do that must focus on God and must not compromise. Simple compromise in politics, you are in trouble. You can't be a saint forever. Simple compromise in governance, you can't. So yes, they will hate you. They might not let you get
certain offices.
But at least where you are, hold your faith.
It's all right. Thank you so very much. Our time is so fast spent. Once again, I'd like to give you the
privilege. Time, no, they wait.
I'd like to give you the privilege to let people know. Maybe someone is just watching us for the first time that has not seen your previous episode. Where can they find you online anyway?
Well, it's a privilege being here. Like it's been said, my name is Oluwadare David. I'm a pastor by calling, a musician, a music minister, life coach. I go to YouTube, just type that name, you see several materials that God has helped us to upload. And of course, on this program, this will be my third time of coming. So once you have this link, you can come across it, and several other intelligent leaders that featured here. So it's a privilege meeting you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You've heard it from him. He's our pastor. In fact, he did mention he's also a peace ambassador. He has so many titles, so many engagement, and someone you want to get close to and follow up, maybe up close. Also, this is Christians in Politics signing out. I want to say thank you for watching today's episode. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Same time, same station next week. Have a blessed day.